Number 1, Kansas. He is out for the season. Meanwhile, Latrell Wrightsell is out for the year for Alabama after a torn Achilles. So this is a Creighton team that is playing thin and young tonight. Big fella gets an easy early look.
Well, and Alabama's got to be furious because they want to front the post, but assuming backside help. No backside help whatsoever.
You mentioned Mark Sears in the own right and Stephen Ashworth. That should be a fun matchup to watch tonight. Ashworth trailing Sears off of the high screen. LeBaron Philon not shooting the ball especially well for Bama lately, and that one's knocked away by Kalkbrenner. Here's Creighton on the run. They will pick and choose when to push the tempo tonight. Here's Ashworth. A Creighton team
normally do if you're Alabama.
Ashworth out to Kalkbrenner. That was in and out. He's had 2 just fall off the rim.
Quick pace, which favors Alabama early.
Sears kicks it out. Here's Philon. Just 2 for his last 12 from deep, and Stevenson loses it out of bounds. It's interesting watching what Creighton does with its drop coverage. In their upset against number 1 Kansas, they got DeJuan Harris. KU guarded by Aiden Sherrill. Shot clock, single digits. McAndrew working on Grant Nelson. That's a fun matchup. Nelson pulls down the rebound. Nelson can stroke it from deep, but off the mark. Ashworth has hit a 3 in 28 consecutive games. To stop the block extended, an elite passer. Here's the double. Brings up Ashworth from deep. That is 29 straight games with a 3-pointer for Stephen Ashworth.
And they did not disguise that double team. That was way too predictable. That's easy money for Creighton's offense.
On the other side, off the mark, and a foul on the rebound. We'll keep it on this end of the floor.
Tough kid. They don't win that matchup last year against Alabama if he doesn't tough it up in the second half.
Off balance bank shot from Darion Reed. By the way, Chris Youngblood, number 8 in Crimson, on the floor for the first time this season. Last year's American Athletic Conference Player of the Year. He had been out with an injury, an ankle, in the preseason. Neal coughs it up. Scooped up by Aiden Holloway. And 0 for 2 from the line. Bama on a 9-0 run. Darion Reed. Nearly coughed it up. This is incredible depth for Alabama. Sears short. Ashworth, good vision. They push it up, had a corner 3, passed on it. Isaac Trout, no. And Creighton has started this game 1 for 4 from 3. In the country, that just doesn't add up.
He is such a smart, cerebral player, so patient. And he sets a lot of ball screens, too. Typically, a 7'1" guy setting a ball screen on the perimeter is going to get called for some of those illegal picks. But he's so smart, doesn't get sped up, and opponents have thrown everything in the world at him over 3+ years. He said, if you will listen to me, you'll get a wide open 3 in the corner. Run it again. And guess what? He gets his first 3-pointer on that exact play.
Now, you don't have to tell a scorer. What do you like about Stephen Ashworth's game?
How it's evolved over time. At Utah State, after he did his missionary trip after high school, serves 2 years, and he was a freshman catch-and-stick shooter. Wasn't good off the bounce, much less a point guard. Now he's a terrific elite point guard who I think is looking forward to this opportunity to show the country, hey, Mark Sears isn't the only top point guard in the country on the court tonight.
Neal off the mark. He's coming off of a near triple-double, 19, 9, and 9 assists. What do you like about Stephen Ashworth's game?
How it's evolved over time. At Utah State, after he did his missionary trip after high school, serves 2 years, and he was a freshman catch-and-stick shooter. Wasn't good off the bounce, much less a point guard. Now he's a terrific elite point guard who I think is looking forward to this opportunity to show the country, hey, Mark Sears isn't the only top point guard in the country on the court tonight.
Neal off the mark. He's coming off of a near triple-double, 19, 9, and 9 assists. The Mountain Book program that has won 6 state championships since 2013. Ashworth behind Kalkbrenner for 3. Creighton is not shooting the ball well tonight. Here's Sears, finds a gap. Mike, NBA champion, 2001 Rookie of the Year. Oh, Bama early. Creighton hasn't scored the last 4 minutes plus. Ashworth fouled on the 3. And a veteran move will get to the free throw line.
Just needs something to stop the bleeding for Creighton, because right now this is the Alabama offense that everybody's kind of been waiting to see. They have not been shooting the ball that great, with Reitzel not being. And they're getting there without the rim protection you want to see. And there's certain ways that you can do this. Watch 22 Sherrill get in the way right there. He's trying to get in the way of Kalkbrenner and just set a little bit of an illegal screen that looks like a post-up. Look at that.
Yep, cleared him out. And Kalkbrenner's 7-4 reach came up with the block and got his fingertips on another. Great effort by Alabama. They come up with another offensive rebound out to Holloway. Fouled on the 3 by Ashworth. Ashworth thought he kicked his leg. And look at this depth that Alabama has. You know, Holloway last year was on the SEC All-Freshman team, started 26 games for Auburn. And what I see, Dane, is it allows them to play at a next level defensively, because that's what's demanded of them, and they can just come at you in waves.
They do, and they've got energy and fresh legs, and they're different styles of play. Like you might have shooters like Holloway, but then Youngblood's got a great build to him, a little bit more physical player that can obviously shoot.
They're going to review it.
A couple good defensive possessions by Creighton. I think they've got a more athletic, versatile lineup in defensively, and they've made the past few possessions just a little bit more contested from Alabama. I don't think that touches the rim, just all backboard.
Stevenson fires a 3. It's an Alabama team that's going to shoot early. They will shoot often. There are plenty of shots to go around with this great depth that Nate Oates has. Neal downhill and 1. And it's his second on LeBaron Philon.
Neal is one of those guys that has to step up with his scoring with Pop Isaacs no longer available. And he did so last game. And here he is on attack mode, and as good as easy bucket mismatch.
Holloway for a quick 3. King with the rebound.
Well, Creighton's doing a terrific job of just kind of playing 2-on-2 and pick and rolls and staying glued on the perimeter with contested 3s.
King effective, giving Kalkbrenner a breather. He wanted the lob, but Neal couldn't get it there. Trout for 3. Yikes.
Last 10 minutes of this first half.
It's really interesting watching Alabama attack the drop coverage. You and I talked about this morning. Alabama did not change who they are for who Creighton is. They just found a different way to attack.
They do. I mean, they're going to get to that rim. And what I've seen, too, is less ball screens. More, hey, you can win your one-on-one matchup off the dribble with your athleticism, not always needing a ball screen to get yourself to the paint. And I think that's resulted in.
Took it off of his hip and cut off. And the 3 ends up on a long rebound in the hands of Holloway. Holloway working on the 6'10" Isaac Trout for a moment. And now Sears gets some space. Follow. Multiple follows don't go.
I'll tell you who's had a nice ending to the second half is 0 and blue, Jason Green.
7 mark. Late 1.5. Sears off balance. No good. Off the front of the rim. And Creighton defensively turns it up. Bama just won for their last 14 to close the half. And we got a 6-point game.
Absolute moose. You will not move him. And that's exactly what happened in that second half. Or first half, excuse me.
Bama just won for its last 14 to close the first half, and that helped. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. They run Miller off the screen, and here's Neal that follows him on a curl. Oh, tough shot. You were looking at the shot chart for Jemiah Neal in the last game. He had 19 against UNLV. He got some tough shots to go.
He did. Thanks to Shot Quality, an analytics website as well. Based on the quality of looks he got, he should have only had about 16, 17, but makes contested tough shots.
I think you need an analytic.
Credit Creighton. I mean, they responded well. Now they've got themselves at the line and did not let that become a momentum-changing missed dunk. And I'll tell you, Ashworth, he's going head-to-head with one of the best point guards in the country, Mark Sears. We talked about it off top. He wants to show that he's in that conversation as well.
It was interesting, the comp that you had, having seen him as a freshman at Utah State, and asked how has your game grown, because both of these guys have grown immensely. Mark Sears started at a beat out the kid from Gordo. Here's Neal. Kalkbrenner has room behind. They don't get it to him. Started by Amori. And so Kalkbrenner doesn't get a touch really in scoring position, and late in the clock, Neal's three is short.
They not only don't want Kalkbrenner to shoot it down low, they don't want him to touch it. Their offense is so much better when he gets a touch.
Ashworth with the bump, Sears 68-65.
And as good as the SEC is doing, Alabama helped break the drought of Final Four appearances last year, but they have not been able to claim as last team standing since the 2012 Kentucky Wildcats. So the Big East, while not always getting as many teams in the field as they would like to, with the help of UConn and Villanova, have plenty of bragging rights.
Straight ahead, Youngblood skips off the rim. Kalkbrenner lost the handle on that one. Usually got good hands. Reed, nope. Follows and fouls. And Darion Reed going to the free throw line.
He just sticks with it here. He knows he's got a tough contested two. Really kind of pushes off there at first, but then Kalkbrenner with the rare foul.
Grovetown, Georgia. 16 offensive rebounds for Alabama. That has led to 11 second chance points in a 10-point game. Neal with an elbow on Holloway. And they'll get Jemiah Neal for his third personal. Wade Holloway just sticks his face in there, doesn't he?
He does, just being aggressive here and trying to clear some space.
Kalkbrenner wanted to let it fly. Instead, he puts it on the floor. What a smooth move by Ryan Kalkbrenner. He's got 16. It is an 8-point difference.
You kidding me? 7'1" to pump fake and get to the rim that quickly off of one? That is tough.
Nelson inside. Brought it down with him, lost it. Trout on the floor. Ashworth comes out of there with it. Creighton's got a 4-on-4. Ashworth lets it fly. And a whistle and a foul against Bama on the rebound. That'll go against Mohamed Diabate, his first. Mason Miller returns for Creighton, and Trout takes a seat. Just 1 of 7 from 3 this half. Busy day for Houston Millett, huh? Look at Nate Oates react. He's saying, I'm trying to make this flat look better than Wimp Sanderson did. I don't remember Wimp in a muted taupe color, but nonetheless, no, his coach is watching tonight. Here's Ashworth. That'll quiet the home crowd just a bit as Green converts. It's back to 8 again.
A 4-point swing of their own. This place would have exploded with Nelson making that one.
Sears gets the whistle that Ashworth didn't a couple of possessions ago. It's charged to Shane Thomas.
This kid Phylon is such a dynamic player, exciting guy to watch, and just so electric in the lane. He'll Euro step some. He'll become March. This could become a 5-4 if you win one on the road.
Sears gets the and one, and more importantly, that is the fourth on Stephen Ashworth.
Well, and Alabama recognizes that Ashworth can't play as aggressive after picking up that third foul on the questionable block charge. And here he is, just must have gotten tripped up there.
I think that is evidence that Mark Sears is a genius.
Not long, minute and a half or so. I'm sure they'll try to buy some time, but
put Shane Thomas in for him. Youngblood for three. That one was halfway home.
The other thing you got to gauge is, can your team maybe get consecutive buckets, get a little bit of momentum, but
coughed up. A run out. And the jam by Darion Reed. Darion Reed whistled for his third personal. 5:06 to go. The biggest question for me is whether or not there's enough jet fuel for Creighton to get back in this game. And if they do, what impact does their lack of depth have on it?
Yeah, this is where it starts catching up to you. The fresh legs, and even worse, Mark Sears. We all know he has not been shooting as well as he wanted to early in this season, playing with those 4 fouls.
Minnesota, Mr. Basketball and Gatorade Player of the Year, the same state that produced guys like Jalen Suggs and Chet Holmgren. Previous award winners for both of those.
They don't play a ton of zone, but Alabama prepared for it. They went through several sets against this 1-3-1, and that wasn't one of them. Guard to guard, shoot the three. I mean, when they were patient and they got guys flashing from the corners to the high post, that's where you.
In this one, Sears with 20, Ashworth with 20.
Both have been just big time players, hit timely shots, and every time you think Alabama has just put a dagger in Creighton and starting to get separation, Mark Sears will hit a big bucket, and then Ashworth will come down and make a key assist, or like he did just there, hit a big triple.
Moy, fifth-year player, came over from Rutgers, the Big Ten defensive team, and he is Creighton with a quick timeout. It's a 6-point contest. 1:20 to play. 6-point game. Sears guarded by Ashworth, who's got 4. Got to be careful. Shot clock at 12. Sears with a burst to the baseline. Kalkbrenner bails him out. Nelson, no. Rebounded by Neal. 1 minute to play. Creighton still in the sink. Free throw shooter, did he? Held. Jackson McAndrew. Have a night, big fella.
Grant Nelson with the deep contest, thinking he's not going to pull from there, is he? And then he goes from point A to point B. And anytime you jump in the air and you go into the offensive player's space, you make yourself vulnerable for a foul call. Nate Oates hated the call, but when you jump in the air like that, the officials.
An advantage thanks to Sears, who's got 25 in this one.
Here's Jaron Stevenson checking in for defensive purposes as well. This guy.